Welcome everyone to the Peninsula Area Public Access Board meeting on, was this March 8th, 2022. I'll do roll call here. With us tonight so far is Arthur, Anthony Martin as a guest at the moment, Charlie McGon, Darian, and Maxwell as X. And yeah, sounds good. Has everyone seen the agenda? I can put it up if that's helpful, but does somebody have a motion to adopt?
I second that emotion.
The motion has been adopted.
Did you want to make sure if anyone wanted to add anything to discussion?
Yeah, that would be great. In fact, I do want to add something. I want to put Anthony down in new business, but I want to move that up to the top under chair report. So
make a motion to accept agenda with addendum.
great. All right. Minutes from last time, I believe Darian, item number 4, I believe Darian sent them out. I actually haven't seen them yet because I just got home. Does anybody have any questions? It was a short meeting. In my haste, I know I skipped a couple sections. But we didn't have everybody there, so I was kind of wanting to get things done. Go ahead, Darian.
Oh, I tried to do the best with what I could and kind of put things where they should be because the meeting was kind of all over the place.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. No, I hear no questions. How about a motion to accept those?
I guess I'll make a motion to accept as read.
Second, this is Charlie.
All right. And hearing no, using unanimous consent, if anybody opposes, let me know. Otherwise, we'll let those go forward. All right. All right. Chair report. Let me open that up. Busy month for me. One of the things, and we can discuss it more down, I have it kind of loaded down a little further, is talk about membership and just get that maybe something from the board just saying, okay, we're going to do it one way or the other, so I can start making sure that we're following that. And but yeah, well, we'll just discuss it later. As far as did a bunch of stuff in programming, it's going pretty well. I'll talk a little more about that later. As well as outreach. I'm trying to think if there's anything here that's really crucial. Does anybody have any questions from if they've read this? Okay. Oh, well, in this time too, I think I would like to, Anthony, we got to know Anthony a little bit better. He's interested in joining the board. I believe he brings kind of really good perspective from City of Sequim and municipality, what municipalities do and need from an organization like us. So I think he offers really good perspective. And so I'm kind of bringing, I've asked him if he would be here tonight and we'll put him forth as a board member. Does anybody have any questions or do we want to discuss anything about that before we take a vote?
So is this an agenda item that we're on right now, or what are we on right now? I'm sorry.
I'm in the board report and I basically moved it from new business up to the chair report because I wanted to do it in the beginning of the meeting.
So you're making a report now. This isn't. I don't have my agenda up. Is this on the agenda for?
It is on the agenda in new business, but I basically wanted to do this in the beginning of the meeting. So,
Okay.
I mean,
So
we can find a different place if this isn't where you want to do it, Arthur.
I mean, it's fine if you want to bring it up, but typically we've followed the a little bit of advance notice for, I don't want to say interview, but like information to look over and then.
Well, we
discuss.
did, we did talk about it last week, our last meeting. I also alerted everybody in the email coming into this
Okay.
meeting. And it was discussed even back in
Oh, yeah,
January.
that's right. That's the one that I could make. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So it's not that it hasn't been discussed or entertained. And I was very
I
clear.
second it.
Thank you. Okay. Well, if anybody does anybody have any questions for Anthony?
Why? No, I'm just kidding. No, thank you, Anthony, for giving us your time and expertise, and I look forward to learning more from you and with you.
Thank you, Maxwell. Excited to get to work with all of you. Been speaking a lot with Silas over a number of months about the kind of work you guys are doing. Kind of aware of some of the history of this program, but really looking forward to helping write its future. So really excited to be, should you choose to invite me onto your board. As Silas said, that I definitely do bring a lot coming to the table as an IT manager here and running a number of different IT departments, but and a number of different fields as well. But I've also just have quite a bit of other experience working with and putting on different shows, different groups like this from a marketing perspective as well. So I think that I have an awful lot of different skills I can bring to the table for everyone. Looking forward to getting to know all of you and seeing where I might be able to make a space for myself on the board as well.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'd like to make a motion then to bring Anthony onto the board. And
So I'm
Now-
just gonna make a quick comment. So this has nothing to do with you, Anthony. Since I just missed the last board meeting and I completely forgot to apprise myself of what happened last meeting, I'm gonna abstain. But being that you're in IT, it sounds like it'd be a perfect fit. So I don't want to vote, just blindly. So I'm just gonna abstain. But it has nothing to do with you. It's just that I didn't apprise myself of what happened last board meeting.
okay.
So Silas, I'd like to say, you made a motion, Silas?
Yeah.
I'd like to second that. This is Charlie.
Okay. Okay. And we'll take that to a vote. I guess, should we do a roll call vote for these kind of things, or should we just use unanimous consent? I don't know in this situation.
This should be a roll call vote. That's why I added that I would abstain.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's, those in favor of Anthony joining the board, say aye, or raise your hand in the chat. Aye.
Aye.
1, 2, 3, Darian.
Aye.
Okay. 5, one abstention. And well, that means, Anthony, you are now a member of the Peninsula Area Public Access Board. Welcome. It is, what time is it? It is 6:15 on, March 8th, 2022. Thank you for joining us, and thanks for being such a great feedback. Anthony's been really helpful in helping me understand how to interface with the county and kind of work with them. And he's also been a huge advocate for us working with the city of Sequim to help get their public meetings, onto our channel 21. So it's still in progress, but we're making.
I'd like to just say that is an essential need moving forward for us.
Yeah, I agree. And we're making good progress, but man, it just the way that things unfortunately work with municipalities. There's a lot of things to dodge and weave and trust to build. And
Sure.
yeah, so we're making progress though. And I really appreciate everything, Anthony. Thank you.
I see it happening on the horizon, so
Yeah.
we can keep at it.
And kudos to you, Silas, for the outreaching and getting Anthony to this place. Thank you.
Cool. Okay, item number 7. Charlie, do you have anything you want to share? Where are we at? I know you weren't here since January, so I thought we'd just maybe if you could give us a snapshot of what has happened in January, February.
As far as the treasurer,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I want to report that we did get the check. I had deposited the check from the city yesterday for $15,000. And I also, can you share a screen of that last financial report I sent you?
Yeah, let me
Summary.
just get back to that email. Is it the number, let's see, your statement comparison report?
Yes, the comparison, yes.
Is it the first one or second one?
It should be the first one that says comparison report.
Oh yeah, comparison. Okay, here, let me.
Either one, I think is going to open up.
Share screen. Here we go. Wait, did that work? Hold on. Here we go. Okay.
This just shows a comparison of where we were last year at this time and this year at this time, and you can see we're a good bit better than we were last year at this time. Not only with showing our assets, but also our dollars total bank account. So hopefully we're getting things squared away and caught up. I did have to pay a fine L&I because none of the quarterly reports had been done since the second quarter of 2021. So I got that all caught up with L&I, but we did have to pay some penalties to them for that. All of our bills are caught up. Everything is up to date. So this is where we stand right now with the bank account at $21,000, $114. So it's looking good. I'm so glad to get that check from the city. So other than that, things are looking pretty good.
Any questions?
Well, I'm doling out kudos today. So kudos. Thank you for putting that together and for doing that work. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing unless somebody wants to look at this a little closer, or obviously you can go to your email and look at it too.
And I haven't talked to the accountant yet. You said she was going to reach out. Was I supposed to call her? Was she call me? Or?
She just said to share that, and then, which I did. You got the email, right? And so I responded to her and said that we would work on those requests that she had asked about. And one of them, which is the credit card. Arthur, do you know who has the credit card?
Wait, say again? Because we only had one credit card before, and that was Elizabeth's private credit card that was originally supposed to have been in Papa's name. And when Elizabeth left the board, she discontinued that card.
Well, I'm pretty sure at some point we had this whole discussion last year, and you had asked Shauna and Eric to figure out opening one.
Right.
With First Federal. And
we never got anywhere with that as far as I'm aware of.
Because on our statements, it shows that we have a credit card and we have a $632 balance.
I'll have to reach out and find out what I don't recall we ever actually got one approved.
Okay. I mean, Charlie and I can reach out to the bank and get to the bottom of it, but I just wanted to, since you have the institutional knowledge of what happened last year from being president, I wanted to check with you first.
I don't recall us actually getting a credit card unless not credit card, but the Amazon, unless when we opened the Amazon, we typically get like an Amazon card, but that would be the only thing I can think of. I don't recall us actually going through the motion of getting actual credit card completely all the way through.
Okay. Well, I'll check in with First Federal then, or Charlie, whoever wants to do it. And we'll.
Do we actually need a credit card? If there is one, can we get it canceled?
I mean, I don't think there's any harm in. Personally, I don't think there's any harm in having it there, so we have we're establishing some credit as an organization, because this is what hurt us in the past, not having that. So.
I'll check into it tomorrow.
Okay. But yeah, obviously, if we have a balance right now, that concerns me.
It concerns me who's getting the statement.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
All right.
Sorry, I'm just coming back to the pop-up board minutes, or the. the agenda. Okay. Yeah, so we got our franchise fee payment and we talked about credit cards. So treasury report, I guess I want to make a motion to accept these reports.
So real quick, I just talked with Eric and we did not go through with the credit card. The statements that say the balance was Elizabeth's credit card.
Okay. Okay, yeah, well, we should definitely look into it. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, because we would be getting interest on that, wouldn't we? We're getting charged penalties and interest if there's a standing balance.
No, because it's the credit card is in Elizabeth's name.
Oh, okay.
It's linked to Elizabeth. When she left the board, she made sure that was all basically arranged to be closed out. So if anything, we may need to reach out to Elizabeth just to verify that there's no outstanding balance that she paid or covered that may have been a PAPA debt.
Okay. That sounds good. Okay. All right, well, I'm motioning to accept the treasury report.
Or make a motion.
Yep. Do you have a second?
I'll second.
All right. And then using unanimous consent, is anyone opposed to this? All right. Hearing none, that passes. Well, let's move on to facilities. Number 8. I painted over graffiti this week and got lots of. I got there was like 3 people who came up to me who hang out down there and basically like, thank you. We really hope we're going to work and trying to keep people from tagging this in the future. Who knows what that means or whatever. But I thought that was interesting. But definitely trying to get things cleaned up. We need to kind of maybe have a clean out the first floor day and repairs. The railings are in some sad shape. A lot of stuff has been busted. So maybe I have some like scrap wood that we could use to kind of repair that. And I don't know if anybody else is interested in helping out with that, but it'd be good. It'd be nice to like set a day to do so. Does anybody have anything in mind that would work in the near future or maybe April?
Well, like same this time showing up, we could even do something like in the evening or on a Saturday or Sunday. I'm fine with any of that.
Okay.
Mhm.
And
Well, why don't I just send out an email and then I'll just see if I can get a board to respond and we'll put a day down.
So how are the general grounds outside the building looking?
Yeah, I mean they're not as messy as they were in the winter, but there's definitely like trash down along that gully in the back.
Okay. So then my question would be, because from what I remember, so the partnership passed the last meeting, right? For
4PA, we need to. I can talk about that more now, or I can talk about down in old business. But
well, what I'm trying to get at is maybe we reach out to them first and see if we can't have them do a cleanup, so that way we can then come in and do a work session to do work.
Sure. Right now, we're hung up on the city. Basically, the city is still reviewing with legal what it means for the city to say it's okay. Even though there's no money being transpiring, there's they have insurance or they're open to being members. So, but basically Joe from 4PA talked to Corey, and Corey's like, well, I have to talk to legal. And I talked to Corey. He said he'd get back to me, but that's been almost 2 weeks now.
Mhm.
So
but there still shouldn't be any reason why they can't go and clean up as community members wanting to go clean up the area. So
I agree. And I'm not asking us to clean up around the grounds. I'm just saying we should be cleaning up in the inside on the first floor. Just to clear that out and get that space a little less hectic and crazy.
right, but you're talking about before just about doing the railings, just
well, the railings, I don't see them having to repair our railings either.
No. What I'm saying is, before we go to work on the railings, assuming that by then we're going, whatever date we're going to go to do that, we will still need to have a cleanup session ahead of time. So that way we can safely work, you know, so there's no debris, needles, or what have you.
There's no debris and needles on immediately around. It's all down in that gully. Like,
Okay.
so in fact, the people who have been hanging out there have been cleaning up on the ramp, underneath the ramp, and they've been generally keeping it a lot cleaner than it has been in the past. I've been actually fairly shocked. So I feel pretty comfortable. I've actually been down there a lot in the last like month. I've been doing a little work there just so somebody's in and around there enough. So I feel safe that way. I don't feel like it's unsafe, but and I feel like those repair projects are kind of independent of the cleaning thing. It's yeah. So I don't know.
Well, let us know when you go down there. I mean, I would have been happy to come and help paint, or
Okay.
you know, if I was available. Yeah, just give us a shout. Or
Well, why don't I just put an email out then, and let's just try to figure out a day.
Also,
I will be gone the next 4 weekends, but
nice.
after this coming weekend.
so also maybe just a quick recommendation. Maybe we need to start like a group text message thread. So that way we can communicate, like if someone's going down there for whatever reason, you know, if someone else wants to just join and work, you know, if they want to partner up to do something, or just someone wants to work while someone's doing something else, at least that way there could be a little bit of an incentive for someone else to join as well. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think that's fair. Okay.
And I just say that because my text messages are more reliable than my internet connection for emails, so I'm more likely to receive a text than a email, depending on where I'm at.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you got everyone's cell phone number, Silas? Do you need anyone to?
I do. And did I send out the board? Well, I'll send out a new one actually soon because now that Anthony's on, but I'll send out a board contact list next week, so everybody gets everybody's contact info. Okay. Anything else on facilities? Darren got some of his stuff out. There's not much else that we haven't used the heat at all this winter, so it's a bonus, I guess. Maybe we've saved some money. There's the leak is still present, but it's not horrible. But especially up in that the far front left corner, if you're looking out towards the street. So I don't know, Arthur, if you have any suggestions about how we can patch that and repair that.
Yeah, so I mean, when we went up there last time, it's just we really got to wait till we have consistent warm weather with no rain, and we just have to go purchase. I don't know if we have any seam sealer from the original job. I don't know.
We have some in the first floor, but I don't know if it's any good.
Right, so we'll have to just check.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, all you.
So we just may want to check to see if it's been sealed, so that way it didn't spoil. And if not, we just want to maybe get another can of it, and then just have a work party where we all go up there, we all take a seam, and we all just lift up and just start putting seam sealer in it, because that's really going to be the only way that we find out exactly which seam goes bad.
Okay.
And the other thing is, the areas around where it goes around the skylights and up the parapet walls, we really got to go and double check that. And that needs to be almost like an annual thing where we're going up there to look at debris, see if there's any lift, because not every section is held down by some sort of weighted object. So it's something that we're gonna have to do regularly.
Okay. That's great. Is it a rubber roof? What is the roof? Or is it like tar?
EPDM.
Okay.
So we'll need to make sure we have the proper solvent for seaming. If we have it there, we can just probably order it online and get it shipped, so we have, you know, extra.
Okay. Yeah, any other facilities questions? Okay.
Well, once again, thank you for painting and
Oh,
interfacing with our
it's no big
people.
deal. I mean, I'm there, so it's easy. I grabbed some paint the other day, and
Wow.
it was kind of therapeutic in a way. It was really hot and warm on Sunday. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna paint this, and so
Nice.
great. Okay, programming. Made some headway. I'm always just like sending out lures to people, and I finally made some progress with the Peninsula Trails Coalition. They have a speaking series every Thursday from in March and April, I guess, or halfway through April. Basically 7 lectures that people talk about their exploration, and it's usually about an hour long. So I recorded the first one, and I'm still kind of in negotiation with them about how we're going to distribute it. I mean, it's definitely going to run on Papa, but I'm also hoping to put it on our socials and everything, because what happened, I'm glad I went, and I pushed them a little bit to be like, we should do this. And they basically filled up the New River Center building, and they turned away people 15 minutes before the thing even started because they were too full. So tons of people were like, I want to see this. I want to see this. So there's like definitely demand. It totally fits the kind of like stuff that we should be doing and connecting with. I'm away for some of them. So I've talked to them about using a Papa camera to film them for a few of them. And so I think it will be a good way to kind of reach out to an organization. And
Where's that facility? Sorry to interrupt.
it's at the new River Center.
Okay.
Do
I'm
you
looking
know
it
the
up.
Dungeness River Nature Center,
Oh,
the
okay.
Audubon, used to be the
Gotcha.
Audubon.
Oh,
Now,
gotcha. Yeah.
So they have a new building. It's been under construction for like a year and a half, and they just basically, that was the first event they've held in there. And the Trails Coalition is responsible for maintaining and advocating for the Olympic Discovery Trail. So, cool organization. Yeah.
Wow.
Very active. Lots of influential and
Participation.
connected people. So.
All right.
Okay. So that was great. Tasting the Peninsula is it's like a show that's run out of Bremerton, but they're looking to branch out to other PEG stations. They asked if they could run their stuff with us, and I was like, yeah. I mean, they're doing shows about businesses in Clallam County, so I thought it was a great fit. And then the producer, she joined as a member, which is awesome, which is what we always want. And so now we're running their show on Thursdays at 7. I'm rerunning them on Tuesdays at like 2, I think. I still kind of working that one out a little bit. We're running their past season, and then their new season starts in April. And I think it's like 10, 12 episodes. So it's very public access, but it's cool. It's local, you know? So awesome. I really appreciate that they reached out. And then I've been in talks with a couple churches, because I really think that because of the pandemic, sorry, I got to get my power cord, but because of the pandemic, a lot more churches are doing streaming. And so I think it's like low hanging fruit for us. And otherwise we're just like playing God TV all day on Sunday. So I'm trying to hopefully establish some relationships with local churches to share their services. I know they really want to, and the idea of being able to put it on cable television is really appealing to a lot of these churches, because they struggle with getting people to go to their YouTube channels and do all the other hoops that they have. So eventually, if we can figure it out, I'd like to be able to have them live stream straight to the channel on Sundays, and just be like, okay, this is your slot, blah, 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 whoever. Because right now I'm faced with the question of, well, if you get me your file on Sunday, I can put it up on Monday, which I don't know, might be okay for one or two. But
sorry, it's a little can of worms where it's like I'm live streaming, like, so which church gets to do that? You know, like then they'll be like, well, that church does it at 10, and I want 10.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm just talking about potential problems in the future.
Yeah, I can't even get a church to like say yes, so I'm not worried about that yet.
To the I don't remember what the Lutheran church is behind the library. They typically have their services broadcasted on KOMP, so it might not be a far stretch to talk to them about just adding video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely open to talking to more churches. I have that. They've been like, they're like, that sounds awesome, but I got to talk to my board or my church advisory council thing. That's what every pastor has told me so far. So, and I haven't gotten past that. So we'll just see.
Well, I'll tell you, in my experience, churches and religious organizations, that's the lifeblood of a community access center.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured.
It really is.
And I know there will be some things to kind of sort out, but sorry, I'm just trying to figure out why my computer is not charging. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that covers programming. I did have good conversations with PA High School, and I think I found kind of a way to get into Squim High School. They're all super interested, but man, there are definitely politics in both those entities that we have to kind of dance around. But my goal is to get football for sure. And I know the students are showing basketball online through some kind of state funded web portal. And I was talking to a guy about how he had to jump through all these hoops to watch it. And I was like, well, that's a shame, because we could just basically put it right up on public access, and you could watch it either through a website or through your cable box. Like, it would be so simple. So, and I got some like definitely head nods, like we really like that idea, but now we got to go to the athletic director and do a bunch of dancing. So, okay. Any other questions on programming? It's been going really well for me as far as like the activity, the physical, or the actual routines of doing it. I've kind of found efficient ways to get it all done on the Sunday. So
Cyrus,
yeah.
so have we burned bridges with lefties, or is there an opportunity that I could reach out to these and talk to them about?
There is. I think there is an opportunity to reach out for lefties. In the past, we did lefties. We had participation from the high school, and we had people volunteering to run cameras and do all that. So we'll definitely be able to, I'm totally open to talking to the lefties, but I don't know that we can support them from a production standpoint. And we'll have to like really dig into like what that means. I know that's been a point of a contention in the past. Like, they've wanted us to provide the production support, but not necessarily help us figure out how to do that, either financially or with volunteer base. But I'm totally open to it. In fact, I've been talking to Chig Martin. He's a member of the chamber, and he worked for Red Lion for a while. Now he works for Sound Publishing, and we actually had a really good conversation about how to kind of approach that and maybe restart conversations with Matt regarding that. So, but I'd rather try to get football because I think it has a bigger draw and better ties to the community first, and then figure out how to maybe go after baseball. So,
well, football's a big production, though. I mean, well, that's several cameras.
Baseball?
I would imagine. Or no, baseball seems fairly easy. Maybe 2 cameras, but football you need 3 at least.
No, you could just do it off a 50-yard line. Just 50-yard line and just pan one way or the other, just like high schools typically do for recording the games.
I mean, we potentially won't have to do the production work. That's the real saving grace there, is that the high school will potentially do it. Their students will do it, and we would support those students like however we need to, whether that's like getting them an encoder or, I don't know. We got to figure out what I heard. Last I heard was they were doing basketball, but they didn't have any commentary or they didn't have any audio. And so I was trying to like get a hold of whoever was organizing that and help them troubleshoot how to make their production a little bit better, bring up their production values a little bit. But I'll take whatever I can get, because I totally have seen a demand for it. And
nice.
So I think anything we can do that people can only get on public access is really good for us. So
good idea.
Okay.
So there's also the Irritation Festival coming up.
Yeah, I will be live streaming the parade for them, complete with announcers and everything. So I'm actually planning on just running that into the channel, whether it's recorded or live, I don't know yet. But yeah, that's
great.
You
Yeah.
got that job? Wow, nice. Good for you, man.
yeah, I've been working with them for the last like 3 years. So pandemic,
Wow.
basically, they were like, we need somebody to help save us from not being the oldest continually running festival in the state of Washington.
Wow.
So, yeah. There's all kinds of things like parades and like 4th of July. There's probably things we could just set up a camera and let it roll for an event. And I'm still figuring out how to like easily port in a feed to a TelView. I tried doing a council meeting through YouTube and it didn't work. Their beta YouTube connection was, the software, the automation hardware we're using is awesome, but it just takes some learning and experimentation. Okay. Anything else? Let's see. Did I cover all the programming things? Yes. Okay. Next item on the agenda is social media. I think we continue. Coffee with Colleen continues to help reach out and bring people onto our social media and watch. And now people are commenting on our videos. So that I thought that was a good. We're doing something right. And then I think as we roll out other programs that we can like offer on social media, that's only going to be good for hopefully our growth there.
Positive comments, I hope.
Yeah, they're all great. People, the EDC has really great brand loyalty with Coffee with Colleen. People love it. And that's why I really pushed hard to basically be their distribution provider. They also didn't know anything about doing that. So it was kind of easy.
The quick question on the social stuff. Are we, when we're creating a post in regards to a video, are we linking in like our, to get an app for like Apple or Roku, whatever we're on, so where they can also.
Yeah. So now in posts where I talk about programming and everything, I basically am saying, and don't forget, we're not just on cable, we're also on blah, blah, blah. So I don't know that. Are you saying that there's a way on Facebook to connect people directly with Roku and Apple and Fire TV?
Well, that's the question. I'm not sure on that stuff, but I know that there's usually a way to either write in the actual URL or something, or even there's got to be. I mean, whenever you go to any other site, they have like a get our app on the iOS, get our app on Android. So there's got to be a way to have some sort of clickable link that opens up directly into iOS or Android or
Yeah. So basically I've been referring people to the page that we've created that links people to all those apps on our website. And actually that came up this week when Tasting Peninsula said, what can we put at the bottom of your videos that points people to where they can watch it on your services? And so I basically gave them that link to our page, as well as telling them when it runs. So now on their YouTubes, they're linking back to us. So, but yeah, I'm definitely in this, and this goes to my point about diversification of our posts. I'm starting to talk more about like what's running in our programming when we pick up somebody new. And I'm also referencing events that are happening that are kind of interesting and cool in our community that maybe people would like to know about. So, and I made a post about, I'd like to get to a point where we can run a community board, and talk about events that are happening in our community. So, but that is not something I have the bandwidth to really do well, but I want to build the base for that to happen. So at some point, maybe somebody can take charge of like figuring out what's happening in March or April or May and feed that information. And then hopefully I think building the boards is pretty easy. But but I got to do a little more research. I at least wanted to start piquing people's interest on that.
This is the Papa TV app. I'm looking at it. There's 2 videos on it.
There's 2 channels on that.
The playlist says 2 videos updated 12 months ago, but so it's just the live stream.
I think it's the
Comes through
live
app.
stream of channel 21 and channel 120.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and they're continuously running 24/7. So,
Hmm.
are you looking at the like iOS app or the
Yeah,
Android app?
iOS app.
iOS app? Yeah, yeah, and that's how it appears then to on Roku and Fire
That's what
and
it looks like.
Apple TV. So,
Gotcha.
okay. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, Brendan helped me out this month or last month and with website changes. Thank you very, very much. We updated like the board information and some of the stuff on the front. We took down, there's like a schedule thing that we would link to that was constantly breaking. And so we just took that out because it just looked super unprofessional. And I'm basically trying to like get our website into a place where when people like I've been trying to get to the library and get them to be a content partner, and I just don't want it to look like we have no idea what we're doing. So yeah.
Is
So
it a WordPress site or what is it a
no, I don't even know what to call it. It's some kind of like proprietary CMS that is run by a local ISP, and the whole thing is a little interesting because it was like built by Eric. It's got Eric's branding on it, which is something that I am concerned about. And so it is probably something we need to discuss going down the road. Like, what is our website doing for us, and how do we improve it? So, but
yeah.
it's just not
That's a good
something
idea
I'm
for future discussion.
yeah, I'm not taking that on right now. I'm happy to like if we want to form a committee and somebody wants to take charge of that. I'm more than happy to say, please do. But it's totally functioning. It does what we need it to do. But I think there's some fundamental questions we need to ask.
Can people become members?
Yes, and it works. We just got a member through there. Although I want to like. It's unclear whether that person was able to fill out like an actual application. I think they just gave us money and they like maybe ticked off some kind of box, but we don't like, I had to like go back to them and ask for some other details. So,
well, it takes their money.
Yeah, we got money.
That's important.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
All right. Any other social media questions, thoughts? Okay. Membership. So this is the big thing that I like in my chair report said is probably needs some priority. Like, can we as a group like figure out if this is something that we should track people when they sign up and have them pay on their anniversaries, or can we just institute like every April 1 every year is membership due time, and we send out in March notices. And does anybody have any
easier
feelings about that?
Well, I believe that's what we did. We had before was that the new year, January 1st or whatever it was the beginning of the new cycle. And then new members would have a proration based on where we were in the year.
Okay. There's like no documentation. I've looked back through notes. There's not even a database of members. So there's just a bunch of applications that were paper in a binder, and that wasn't even. I could tell that wasn't even there, because if they joined digitally, then they maybe didn't fill it out, and so it's been really hard to kind of figure out who was a member, who is a member. So I don't know if somebody. Like, should we put this up to a motion and just like standardize it so we can work towards something, or do we want to discuss it some more in like a committee or something?
I mean, I think going back to when Elizabeth was on the board, she was always the one who brought up at a specific time, contacting for renewals. I don't remember what that was, but I fully support us standardizing a calendar year with a prorated portion for new members as we did before.
Okay. Does anyone what's a good time of year to do that? I don't know that January, for me, January feel like a lot's going on. It's easy to miss things. And that feels like a tough month to make as the annual due date for your membership.
Yeah.
Well, we do want to keep in tune with all the other stuff that we have in terms of like filings and all that for our fiscal filings. So we want to make sure that those things are within the same calendar year if we're using a calendar year, or if we're using a different schedule of timing for our filings with everything that we have for filing. So if you want to change the date, we may have to have a research session to see what we file when, and then keep in tune with those filings.
Okay.
Because if we have revenue coming in for a specific year, but we don't notate that correctly because there's a conflict in filings, we don't want to get into hot water with having mismatched information filed.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, the only filings that we really do are in April. So, but I mean, whether like our financial, I'm not even sure when our financial year technically starts. Is it January to December?
I want to say it is a standard calendar year, but I'm not 100% certain. From what I remember, it is a standard calendar year, just like our contracts, like with the city, it runs per calendar year.
Hey, Brandon, do you think you could find out why the Elks does it in April? Could you get back to me and just let me know if there is like some kind of, I think we should ask other organizations that do it like this and see like if it's a good idea or not.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, what they do, I can just tell you right now, what they do is when they join the organization, they'll prorate the first year in order to make that an easy transition. So that might be a good idea to do that prorate for whatever time of year they join, so you can have them all in the same time.
Okay.
Can I ask a question real quick? What do you know how they manage their membership, like software wise? Is there a particular program or platform that they use?
I can't speak to what they use. I think they just write it down.
I think locally,
but Anthony might have, being an IT guy, might have a better database usage for that. I'm sure.
So this is where the new guy starts asking questions and starts, and I don't want to tie up too much of the meeting with, hey, catch me up here, but just real quick, high level, how many members we talking?
Right now, we're only talking like 10.
Like 10 members. So this is the time to have that conversation.
Exactly.
And then was the,
go ahead.
Yeah, then it was if it's a spreadsheet, it's the thing about how much time does billing actually take? Because yes, there are CRM, customer resource management programs that we could do, as you were talking earlier about, being, having issue with the website. There are some of these that wrapped in with those packages for really inexpensive.
Yeah.
So we could very easily put in a system that would automate some of that billing and that membership renewal process. So it's not as a drain, and it really won't matter whether we're doing everybody on the same date or throughout the year. It'll kind of be handled. So that's what I'm curious as to, what is the actual issue that we're trying to solve? Is it that we have too much work, on our hand doing it, or just that it's not getting managed at all right now?
Well, here, I'll give a brief example. In Thurston County, TCM, there's probably 1,000 members, and those people could be coming in at any given time, renting, a menu of 50 different equipment and it's all wrapped into this one piece of software that this one guy wrote in Visual Studio called Facile. And it's like a proprietary, it's for community media stations. And I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, but that's nothing like what we're doing here. We want to keep track of who's interested and keep them interested and keep them up to date, basically. And we're not checking out gear.
Yeah.
So Anthony, a short answer to your question is it's a combination of we have limited time, limited help, limited funds. And we want to make anything as efficient and even automated as possible within reason. If part of it is, something that we have to do versus all of it that we have to do, we're open to that. It's just a matter of keep in mind efficiency versus cost with limited resources.
Of course. There's a lot of open source tools like this that I know of as well that can easily get us off the ground. So further conversations, of course, and things to look into as we're solving a few of these issues together with a certain solution. So yes, definitely, I'd be willing to be a part of whatever group or kind of take on trying to investigate a little further into some of that. And I could bring some options back.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to interject one more thing. You're always welcome to go and do research without any limitations. And if you find something to the board and you want to bring it up for discussion or send a general email to the board, you can do that at your discretion. The only thing is that you can't act upon anything financial and or instituting something without board approval.
You're not gonna let me spend your money, Arthur? Come on now.
And Anthony,
You're not spending my money, but hey.
I'd like to add to that, Anthony, that if you get into this sort of supercomputer brain Skynet kind of territory where the robots the database that we build ends up taking over the world, stay away from that, please.
Oh, so I can't let you borrow mine then? I got a Skynet right over here.
I think my goal is to create some kind of simple. Let's create something simple for now, but we can scale it going forward as maybe as we develop the building or we create more synergy with the community that they want to use our our organization more. So
but if the AI brain starts getting too complex, just chill out just a little bit, back up. Sorry guys, I'm feeling a little jokey today.
No, it's all good.
All right.
Okay, well, that's great discussion. Thank you. I think we have a little more research to do, and maybe we can just next meeting I'll try to come up with something kind of simple and straightforward once we learn about kind of the advantages and disadvantages of having kind of one time a year. Okay, old business. I explained 4PA. So unless there's any more questions, I think that's just kind of at the moment waiting for the city. Charlie, I don't know if it's worth you pulling on some chains anymore, or just maybe I can email Corey since I already had a sidewalk conversation with him about it. Do you have any feelings on it?
Back and forth, and he is still working on it. I just got an email from him on Monday, I believe, and I'll share it with you if you like.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we didn't let it drop.
No, I'm not letting it drop. I'm keeping in conversation with him.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, and then I think that's it for 4PA. Unless anybody else has any other questions. Okay.
So basically what you're saying is that Port Angeles City is talking to the legal department to see if it's okay?
Yeah, I think
Gotcha.
they're just making sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure why. We're not violating any terms of our lease. We're keeping it really straightforward, and it's a win-win, and everybody thinks it's a win-win, but they definitely want to make sure. Okay.
How to do the due diligence.
Yeah, due diligence. Okay, we already talked about cleaning up downstairs. We'll try to do that offline, figure that out offline. And Anthony's now part of the board, so congratulations and welcome. So that takes care of new business. Community comments. Brendan, do you have anything you want to say?
No comment. No comments.
Okay. Well, then, any announcements?
I got a brief announcement that's slightly off topic.
Yeah.
I can wait till the end.
I didn't talk about my outreach because I realized I don't have an outreach section. That's I can just briefly summarize that. I talked to BCAT, which is Bremerton channel. They were super helpful. I'm probably gonna go down there and just visit their station so I get a sense of what that looks like. I think
Road trip?
Yeah, road trip. If anybody's interested.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Okay. And then MOU, I reached out to Lindsay and just asked him, like, as a lawyer, can you give me any thoughts on creating a MOU template for municipalities regarding public meetings, so we can basically access their meetings and we're not just like taking it, even though we probably have we're probably on legal standing to do that. But I think we need to instill trust in these entities. Thank you, Anthony, for that tip of the hat advice. So
was Lindsay receptive to you?
yeah, he sent me an email back and he's basically like, here's the skeleton of a good MOU for this type of thing. He's like, if it has to do with PA, I can't touch it. But I'm not asking him to do anything. I just wanted, from his perspective, being both a member of a municipality, elected member, and also a lawyer, like, give me, if you have any thoughts, I would appreciate it. So he did. So I might try to work something up in the next couple weeks, and I'll bring that to the board before anything happens. But those are my announcements. I don't really have anything else.
You did, hold on, I did have one question. Did you, and maybe you already went over the new business part, but the cleanup downstairs day?
Yeah,
when is that?
Basically, I like didn't want to get into the horse trading of when we're all available, and I thought we should just do that on an email, maybe a text, and pick a date. Or if anybody's like inspired, we could do small work parties. We could also maybe come up with like here are the things that we need to do, and then I could send out like maybe even a weekly email that just says, if anybody's interested.
Again, that's where I also added in a phone chat, because for some of us, texts come in.
Yeah, and maybe that's what I do is I send out like a weekly text to the board and say, here's what's going on this week at Papa, that I know of,
Send it out to all 10 of our members too.
Yeah. The only thing they ask me is, when do I owe you money?
Well, God bless them. Sweeties.
Okay, well, in that light of that, it is.
Well, I was gonna say, so one, I want to say thank you to Brendan for helping you out with, I forget whatever you mentioned it was that he helped you out with.
The web, yeah, the website.
The web, that's right. Also, I want to say, Brendan, we appreciate you as a community member, being consistently at our meetings and being a part of the process. And I think that at least I appreciate having other people from the community coming in. And then the second thing I want to say is, if you're feeling blue and you miss Christmas, we can all go to Silas's house because he still has Christmas lights up.
I do. It's true. My wife has been telling me to tear them down.
Well, another work party.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you guys to come over and take my Christmas lights down.
Hey, Silas, has there been any other community media access centers that you've been able to talk to? Or?
I reached out to the woman at
Deb Vincel
Thurston.
at Thurston Community Media.
Crickets.
What'd you say? Nothing? All right, well, I'm gonna make a phone call then.
Okay. I mean,
sorry about that.
Good. I understand. Like, she's a busy woman, so that channel is churning. So it's pretty cool. But the guy I talked to at BCAT, he's retiring next month, so I kind of wanted to get down there before he leaves. So
yeah, it's a whole wave of retirement that's happening right now.
Yeah, there's an opening at that station in Silverdale. So
there's an opening. Yeah, there was an opening in Salem. Do you guys ever check out the Alliance for Community Media?
Yeah,
website.
In fact, I want to update our membership there. So
I mean, it's a good organization. It keeps the tatters of what exists still connected. But yeah, it's an interesting website if you guys are into community media. It's the national organization that
we were members once upon a time. I don't know. I think our membership lapsed during COVID. So, and I'd like to maybe just kind of
Yeah,
get
I'm
that.
not sure, but I still get the I don't know if it's monthly, but the emails. I don't know if you
Emails?
guys still get them.
Yeah. I need, that's a good idea. I should sign up for that.
It's an interesting, yeah, I mean, it's just check it out. Alliance for Community Media, Google it,
Cool.
.com. Sweet.
Hey, anything else? Anybody else? We're all
Yeah,
good?
Silas, tell your wife that like you shouldn't have to take down the Christmas lights until Easter. Like that should be a thing. Like Christmas, Easter.
They're all colorful and
Well, geez, Louise, Christmas is right around the corner. Just leave them up.
we could. If it was up to me, that's what would happen. But all right. Well, thank you for everybody for your time, and we'll adjourn now at 7:06. And yeah, we'll be in touch on email, and then next month. I think it's the 12th of April. So, all right. Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.